ER verb endings and an example for conjugating. I think you've got 23 vocab words, 1 through 23 on your vocab list. They're regular ER verbs. So that's what we're starting with. So you've got 2 charts that we did in class today. And the first one is regular ER verb endings. So what ultimately happens is, in order to conjugate a verb, an ER, regular, normal ER verb, the first thing you do is you drop the ER from your infinitive. And doing that gets you a stem, something called a stem. So I'm going to give you an example up here. If you have parlay, which means to speak, this ER right here is where you get the to from, for to speak, to eat, to run, to whatever it is, depending on your verb. So if you get rid of that, what you have left is PARL. So that right there is called your stem. Step 2, in order to conjugate, you add your endings from your chart to the stem according to your, or based on your subject or your subject pronoun. Okay, so I'm going to give you all of the endings first, what you add on there, and then we're going to go back and I'm going to give you an example of an ER verb to let you see how it actually looks in real life and practice. So if your subject is je, pretend this is your stem. On the end of that stem, you're going to add an E. Okay? For to, you add an ES. ELL and all, they're all the same. And they are also just like je. So this one you add just an E. These 3 you add just an E on the end. So you have parle for parlay. This dash is where this ending comes in. Okay, that's what it kind of looks like when you squish it together. So for new, your ending is O and S. Vu is really easy. It's E-Z. I know it's corny and punny and all that kind of stuff, but it helps you remember. Vu is easy. And you've got this, you know, V is kind of a weird letter. Z is kind of a weird letter. So the weird letters for endings kind of match up a little bit. All right, then for these, your ending is E-N-T, and that goes on the end of whatever your stem is, whether it's parlay or it's something else. So let's take parlay. I'm going to write your endings up here all the way at the top. You have E-E-S-E, O-N-S, E-C, E-N-T. So they're there, and that you can see where I'm getting this stuff from. So we're going to use parlay. Color code here. So we're going to use parlay means to talk. And your stem is P-A-R-L. That's what we just did. Okay? So for here, you've got your stem, P-A-R-L, and then you look at your chart, you add an E for je, so you have je parle. Okay? Now, the other thing that you need to write in this chart is the translation. So this means I talk or I speak. But it also means I am talking or speaking, and I do talk or speak. Okay? So the note that you I guess need to make somewhere on one of your charts, if you did not do that, is that the French present tense never, ever, 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 never uses helping verbs. what that means is, if you are translating something and it says, I am writing on the board, you don't have to say am because it's built in. I am talking to the teacher, you just say I talk to the teacher because that am is built into this conjugation right here. When you drop that ER, you add the E, it says all of these things all at one time. Alright, so as you go through this, it's the same thing all the way through. It models after the same format. So you have PARL, there's your stem. You add your ending. For tu, it's ES. So you have je parle. Now you have tu parle. Then the meaning also is modeled after what is here. So instead of I, tu means you. You talk or speak. You are talking or speaking. And then you do talk. Again, follow the same pattern. These are the same. You have PARL. You add your E for your ending. And then this one means he or it. This one means she or it. And this one means one. So there's that. So he or it or she or one talks, is talking, and does talk. So this one is he or it talks, she or it talks, one talks, or is talking, does talk. That's how that one works. I just wrote it one time because it's the same conjugation. Okay? Alright, over here you have nous parlons, PARL, whoops, wrong color, and then ONS, PARL, EZ, PARL, ENT. So those are your endings. I'm going to go back and do the translation, then I'll talk about how you say all this. But nous parlons is, again, you follow the same pattern. This one just means we. We talk. We do talk. We are talking. I did it out of order, but that doesn't really matter. As long as you've got all three of them, you can do them in whatever order you want to. This is you or y'all. Talk. Do talk. Are talking. And then this one is they. Well, both of these are they actually. They talk. They do talk. They are talking. Like that. Okay? So if you wanted to actually, use this for another verb where you're just writing things, writing sentences, whatever it is. And I gave you a conjugation or a blank where I gave you vous and a blank, and I wanted you to conjugate danser. That means to dance. Okay? So what you do, you get rid of that ER. Your ending for vous is EZ. So you have DANS, and then that's your ending. So you have vous danser. That means you or y'all dance. This is what we'll be doing tomorrow. You or y'all are dancing. And you or y'all do dance. So each one of these in the present tense is happening right now. And because the French don't use helping verbs, they don't conjugate helping verbs in the present tense, this one thing in French means these three things in English. So it's much easier, it's much shorter than writing this stuff in French or in English. So the other thing that you need to see is something called the boot. What happens with ER verbs, regular ER verbs in the present tense, is if you create a shoe or a boot, everything inside the shoe sounds exactly the same. So you have je parle, tu parles, il parle, elle parle, on parle, il parle, el parle. This ENT here works as a silent E. This E, this ES, this E, they're all silent. You do not hear them, okay? These you do hear. You have parlant and parler, but everything inside the boot is silent. It works like a silent E, just like in English, okay? So tomorrow we're going to be doing more of this. Eventually we'll be writing sentences like you were dancing in the classroom. Don't know why you'd be dancing in the classroom, but you know, have at it if you're doing a Flappy Bird song. The other video is up or will be up depending on when you check this, that goes over all of the vocab, how to say it and what they mean. That will be up again either at the same time or shortly after this video. So if you have any questions, let me know.